A low-income single Japanese woman who can't afford rent has to live in her car and eat instant noodles even during a snowstorm. Do you know how miserable her nightlife is? 7:30 p.m. Mifumi, 29 years old this year, has just finished overtime and is leaving the company. It's snowing heavily at this hour. Most people head straight home. But she is different. Because she lives in her car year-round, Mifumi now has to find a place to spend the night. The sky is gradually darkening. Passing by a supermarket, she decides to stop and buy 2 bottles of water. After all, she might not find another chance later. The place she's heading to is quite remote. After shopping, Mifumi continues her journey, watching the snow fall heavier outside. The temperature has dropped to -3 degrees Celsius. It seems tonight won't be easy for Mifumi. After a long journey, Mifumi finally reaches her destination. After parking the car, she quickly moves the necessary items out from the trunk, daring to wear a miniskirt in such a snowstorm. You might think she isn't afraid of the cold, but Mifumi sets up an electric blanket and seals the car tightly, afraid of letting in the slightest draft. After handling all these chores, it's time for Mifumi to make dinner. Due to the limited space in the car, she can't prepare elaborate meals. And to save money, Mifumi chooses to eat instant noodles. It's also quite time and effort saving. She just needs to heat water and pour it in. Another simple meal. As an ordinary office worker, Mifumi's monthly salary is only 250,000 yen. With this income, back when she rented a place to live, forget about saving money, even daily sustenance was a problem. After deducting rent and utilities each month, she had to spend the rest very carefully, to barely survive. Wanting to escape this life of counting every penny, Mifumi mustered the courage to take a loan and buy this car. Although she's still paying the car loan, and her monthly salary still gets spent entirely, Mifumi feels the nature is completely different. It's like using the rent money to pay the car loan. Once the loan is paid off, the car will be hers. That's better than ending up with nothing. But life in the car is indeed quite tough. Furthermore, she has no money to modify the car, so Mifumi can only sleep in the back seat every night. After eating her fill, it's time for Mifumi to lie down and sleep. As for showering, she'll do it tomorrow. Time passes to the next morning at 6:07 a.m. Mifumi is woken by a snowplow on the roadside. Getting out of the car, she sees the vehicle is already surrounded by thick snow. The snowstorm lasted all night, making it quite uncomfortable for her. Last night, Mifumi spent the night in these conditions. One can imagine how cold it was. You can almost feel it through the screen. After this, Mifumi takes her change of clothes and goes to a nearby hot spring facility to enjoy an early soak for 500 yen per half hour. Of course, this process is quite uneventful. So, as usual, I'll skip it for everyone. After finishing, Mifumi goes to eat a bowl of ramen for breakfast. It must be said, having a hot bowl of noodles after a bath feels absolutely wonderful. Regarding her current lifestyle, Mifumi admits it's quite hard. But the pressure has also decreased. It allows her to live more easily. Moreover, once the car loan is paid off, she can start saving money. Maybe she can even buy a house someday. After filling her stomach, Mifumi clears away some snow, unplugs the power cord, and it's time to drive to work. This is the nightlife of a low-income single Japanese woman. So, after watching this video, what are your thoughts on such a woman? Feel free to leave a comment below. There are women in Japan who make money by renting themselves out. Their hourly rate can be as high as 6,000 yen. Do you know how much she earns in a day? At 7:30 a.m., Seiji, 32 years old this year, was already waiting for our arrival. Born in the early 2000s, she currently lives alone in Tokyo. To make a living, she works in a little-known, high-paying job. However, regarding the specifics of what she does, we might have to wait a bit to show everyone. Right now, Seiji needs to quickly eat some breakfast, because her schedule for today is packed. Immediately after, she started putting on makeup and getting dressed. Even at her age, and having experienced the beauty of marriage, Seiji shows no traces of time's passage on her. Her entire person still very much has a youthful, girlish feeling. It's hard to guess her real age. After a long hour, she finally finished meticulously styling herself. A fitted, body-hugging mini dress paired with a white blouse still gives her a very feminine charm. After getting ready, Seiji picked up her beloved bag and headed out to make some serious money. Her current profession is that of a rental girlfriend. Simply put, she provides services like chatting and shopping to men in need. In Japan, this is a legal service profession. Many capable women, in order to earn money, come to try this industry. Over the past few years, Seiji has served over 3,000 clients. Consequently, her price has risen accordingly, reaching 6,000 yen per hour now, which is nearly 300 Chinese yuan. At noon, 12 p.m., after finishing with her first client, she rushed over non-stop to keep her appointment with a second client. In your eyes, although such a price might seem a bit outrageous, where there's demand, there's a market. In Japan's fast-paced, single-centric society, many men are busy with work and have no time to develop romantic relationships, but they occasionally crave female companionship. So they spend money to rent a girlfriend to alleviate their loneliness. Especially on Valentine's Day, seeing some couples so affectionate, they feel envious, more or less. And what Seiji needs to do is to seriously listen to the client's daily life, pressures, worries, etc., and then provide ample psychological companionship and emotional support. This is her greatest value. As for whether the money is well spent, it entirely depends on whether you yourself felt a sense of release. After it ends, if the entire process was pleasant, pleasant, and gave the client a great experience, the other party might even give a little extra. Like this client, for 2 hours of companionship, gave 20,000 yen, which exceeded the normal price. So before leaving, Seiji very thoughtfully helped him adjust his attire. This seemingly simple action is actually laying the groundwork for the next date. One has to admit, it's all thanks to Seiji's extensive experience. Looking at his beaming expression, you can tell just how happy he was. When there are no clients to accompany, Seiji would find a cafe to sit in. However, she doesn't stay idle. Instead, she takes out her tablet to record the content of conversations with clients. She turns them into a manga-style format, making it easier for her to summarize and review. So, working in this line isn't that easy after all. Every day, she has to analyze different men. At 4:40 p.m., Seiji arrived in Japan's most bustling commercial district, Tokyo's Ginza. With clients flooding in daily, she often has to run around back and forth. But as long as the money is right, going anywhere isn't a problem. To enhance the sense of intimacy between them, anyway, things like transportation fees are covered by the other party. Seiji would proactively link arms with the client. If you see two people like this on the streets of Japan, they might not be a real couple, but strangers who just met. When the client suggested sitting face to face, Seiki 毫不犹豫地说要坐在一起. This is actually also a strategy, because doing so can reduce direct eye contact, making communication more relaxed and natural. So, details are very important. The client can better enjoy a dating-like companionship experience. If there's one 环节 that makes the other party feel uncomfortable, then he might not seek you out again next time. Currently, Seiji can take on 3 to 4 clients per day. After all, if it's too long, the novelty wears off. Rather than spending more money on you, it's better to find the next person. After having tea and accompanying the client for some shopping, Seiji's workday also came to an end. She accompanied 3 clients today and received 60,000 yen. It was an absolutely huge payday. 10 o'clock in the morning, 20-year-old Akita Shizuka was awakened by her phone alarm. Yesterday's fatigue lingered like a stubborn pest. Not completely dissipated from her body. Thinking about today's food expenses. Still wandering with the wealth god, not yet earned. She could only sluggishly drag herself out of bed. This was a unique job featuring late starts and late returns, completely opposite to the routine of ordinary salaried workers. Makeup was an absolute daily necessity. After all, she made a living relying on her looks. Around 11 o'clock. It was lunchtime. The food was a simple meal from a convenience store. An adorably bubbly suitcase served as her mobile treasure chest workbox. She needed to pack inside various props and costumes for today's performance. Being naturally obsessed with anime and video games was one of the reasons why Akita Shizuka plunged into the cosplay world. Time unknowingly reached 1 p.m. With everything prepared, she had to head to the appointed workplace. In this industry, there were no fixed times or locations. It all depended on the client's prior arrangements. Emphasizing adaptability. On the train, she could indulge in scrolling through her phone. This was a relatively relaxed moment. After all, once work began, she would enter a battle mode where she couldn't relax. Around 2 o'clock, Akita Shizuka arrived at the appointment location. It was an indoor photography studio. In no time, she swiftly changed into new costumes, as if completely transforming into a different character. Today's task involved cosplaying as the game character Genma. Relatively speaking, it was easier work. On average, she was also recruited to participate in 1 or 2 large events monthly. In Japan, a country filled with anime atmosphere, such opportunities were easily found. She received invitations frequently. 2 hours later, this job assignment temporarily concluded. After packing her belongings, she needed to recharge and relax, while replenishing some energy. Unlike other countries, karaoke in Japan was a private exclusive activity. You could understand it as similar to drinking tea or shopping, just a casual pastime activity. Around 6 p.m. It was her dinner time. Choosing an izakaya was an absolutely wise choice. In a separate room without other customers disturbing, she could start with her close friend, a free-speaking complaint session mode. At 9 p.m., Akita Shizuka returned to her small nest and switched to a new persona with one click. Although her appearance before the camera seemed quite ordinary, but once she turned on the live beauty filter, the image seen from another phone instantly became as beautiful as a celestial being. Thanks to Japan's leading position in beauty filter technology, the gifts viewers sent in the live stream could also be converted into yen and pocketed. During the live stream, she could perform talent songs at any time. This was because of her previous practice. At karaoke sessions, male viewers competed frantically to send her gifts. The girl continuously expressed thanks that. After ending the stream at midnight, she still needed a peacekeeper battle to conclude the day. It had to be said, this Japanese cherry blossom girl's day was as colorful as a spilled paint palette, yet also abundantly rewarding.